This is the first S that we are going to talk about in our lesson on the three S's. And as we get into our discussion on this S, I want to ask the question, what does solve mean? Think about that in your algebra context. What does it mean to solve something? To solve means to identify solutions. To identify solutions, but that makes me think of another question. What does solution mean? Pause, think about it. What does solution mean? Solution means values that make equations true. So when we solve equations, we're trying to identify values that make equations true. This is the third S in our three S's. Something, something, solve. Okay, now let's run through some simple examples of simplifying equations. And so we have the equation here, x plus 5 equals 15. If we're going to solve this equation using the methods we typically use in algebra class, it would look something like this. We'll rewrite the equation, and we'll subtract 5 from both sides. Some people put the wall down the middle here. If it's helpful, do it. It's not necessary. 5 minus 5 is 0, so we're left with x. And 15 minus 5 is 10. So we know the solution is x equals 10. But there's another strategy that we can use, and that's asking yourself the question, what number do I add to 5 to get 15? I have 5 and I want 15, so how much do I have to add? 10. The solution is 10. Let's run through some more problems in solving simple equations. I have another equation here. X minus 7 equals 15. And let's use our first strategy to solve this equation. Well, to isolate x, we're going to add 7 to both sides. And so minus 7 plus 7 cancels out, and we're left with x on the left side. 15 plus 7, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. X equals 22. 22 is the solution to this equation. And using strategy 2, we can ask ourselves, well, what number do I subtract 7 from to get 15? And so I'm thinking to myself, I have some number and I'm taking away 7 and I get 15. What is that number? Oh, 22. Either of these methods works to solve equations. Remember, to solve is identify numbers that make equations true. Here's another equation. 2x minus 15 equals 15. And this equation is a little bit more complex than what we've looked at in the previous two examples, but we can still use our algebra techniques to solve this equation. I'll add 15 to both sides of our equation. Here's the wall. And negative 15 plus 15, that cancels out, and we're left with 2x equals 15 plus 15. Ooh, that's like thinking on a clock. 15 minutes plus 15 minutes, that's 30 minutes. 2 times x equals 30. So we have to do the opposite of multiplication here. We'll divide both sides by 2. 2x divided by 2 just equals x. And 30 divided by 2, well, if I cut 30 in half, I have 15. So we know x equals 15. The solution to this equation, 2x minus 15 equals 15, the solution is 15. And let's look at one more equation. (20 plus 30 equals 50. Do we have to solve this equation? No, because we're not looking for values that make the equation true. We have all of our numbers here already. Remember, if our equation has an x, we're solving. But if there's no x in our equation, or any other variable, then we're not solving. Solving is looking, identifying values that make equations true. That is our video on solving.